summary of what we need to do with respect to contracting and personnel, non-military service contracting and other similar kinds of DoD contracting. But I want to come back to the recruitment issue because I think of all the challenges to our military right now, the clear and present danger is we're not going to get enough good people to wear the uniform. And the statistic that you provide, 72%, that's the Army's percentage in meeting its recruiting goal. I had breakfast this morning with the Commandant to be, hopefully he'll be confirmed soon, and of the Marine Corps, and he was very proud of the fact Marine Corps meets its recruiting goals. And Senator Kaine and I have some experience with Marines. Our two sons served as active duty in the Marine Corps. I have another son who was a Navy SEAL, whom Senator Warren knows. And they didn't go into it for the money. At the time, they were single. So they didn't really care that much about the housing and schools for kids. And I noticed that you make some recommendations about how to address this issue, get more reliable data, monitor plans and strategies for effectiveness, goals, plans, and strategies. But I think that something more fundamental is needed here, because you can monitor, you can strategize, but unless you're reaching the people you want to recruit, it just won't work. And I wonder if any of you have insights. For example, we're going to raise, if we can get this NDAA approved, we'll raise military pay, 4%, 5%. I don't know whether that'll make a difference. What is the key here? Should we look to the Marine Corps as an elite service? Do we need more of the kind of spirit, image? I don't know. You know, there are plenty of ads that try to recruit young people. So tell me what your thoughts are.
If I could begin, I would just offer two quick thoughts. The first is, I think quality of life in the military is incredibly important for recruitment, because in all of our work, we often hear that young enlisted service members talk about their experience with their buddies back home or with their families. And when they hear, for example, that they're living in housing, a barracks that is in very poor condition, their buddies and their family members get the message, don't go into the military. So that's my first thought, quality of life, which can cover a lot of things to include housing, but also things like pay, compensation, food. My second thought, just for your awareness, is that we are right now conducting an audit looking at the recruiting programs across the services that will include a look at their use of digital and social media. I don't have any results from that audit yet, but we will certainly provide them as soon as we have, and that might illuminate why the Marine Corps is more successful than other services, particularly the Army.
Any others?
For me, I think just to echo the points that my colleague Ms. Field made, I think that healthcare is an important part of taking care of the soldiers that we have and making sure that their quality of life is as good as possible. And so I think that efficiencies that we can gain in the health system to make every dollar count is critically important. And I think that's why we're all here today, to explore opportunities to do that. And then on the housing side, I know we've done a number of projects on housing hazards, health hazards, and so forth that military families face in privatized housing. And then we're also completing a series of evaluations right now on the FY20 NDAA provisions for privatized housing. We're in the third year of a 3-year series of evaluations on that.
Well, I look forward to the audit. It can't come soon enough, but I want to add one more perspective, you know, I recently visited Gratenwehr, where our Army is training Ukrainians to fight. And I have never seen American troops more motivated and engaged than they were in training these young Ukrainians. We're about to go fight and die. These are young people who were bakers and teachers and computer scientists, and they're being taught by our Army, who have incredible skills. And the challenge of teaching those Ukrainians their profession, it's a profession, elicited such motivation. And, you know, the food isn't great, the housing is okay, but not great. But the mission is really what drives them. And so I don't know how we attract people. You know, I've seen some of the social media, some of the ads about the mission. But that's just a, you know, a thought, not an original thought by any means, but one that struck me thinking about recruitment. Those young troops from our American troops are going to talk about that experience their whole lifetime. And the same happened, you know, Senator Kaine and I visited one of the bases where Ukrainian refugees were brought back, and there were Marines there. These Marines have never been deployed, but working with the refugees is an experience, again, a mission for them. It's not a combat mission, but it is something where their sense of purpose is really fulfilled. So just, you know, a thought, and I don't know how we put it into the recruitment program, but it's just struck me that that's going to be a selling point if we want to get the best and the brightest.
Senator, if I could, on your question about recruiting and such, as sort of the data guy, one of the things I think you need to look at is, are the services putting the money that they should be into the recruiting budgets? How does the Army's recruiting budget and numbers of recruiters this year compare to 1 year ago or 2 years ago? Are they actually sort of doing what you would think they would do in this, putting more money against that? So look at the numbers, and also don't forget we're in a boom economy in terms of employment, and the military always has trouble recruiting when you can make good money on the outside. So that's another thing to keep in mind as you're looking at this. So I think
we're in a boom economy, but you know what the Marine Corps does is they take some of their best people and they put them on recruiting. It's not a backwater for them. It is essential. They make it, you know, they put it as a priority. You know, you're great at what you do as a Marine. We're going to put you out to get more great Marines. It's not kind of the fallback for, well, you know, so-and-so can't really do the job. Let's put them into recruiting. We'll send them out to, you know, Hartford, Connecticut. The Marine who goes to Hartford, Connecticut is among the best because he has to attract the best. So just another thought.
It's a powerful point, Senator Blumenthal.